more JBR adventure in my Manfred Hortick custom artisan pipe that I got at Steinmanns tobacco shop, pipe and tobacco shop. The name and the link for Sven's shop will be in the root cellar. Please check him out. Click on the one link. It'll take you to his eBay. He is the #1 estate pipe seller in Switzerland. Fantastic feller. I sat down with him for an hour and a half with Jean. What an amazing feller. We shared a pipe. We talked tobacco. We talked life. We talked to different cultures. We talked politics. It was an amazing hour and a half, and this pipe caught my eye coming in, and I didn't want to buy a pipe. I told myself I wasn't going to buy a pipe, but I love artisan pipes. This one jumped out at me, and they told me it was a Manfred Hortick custom artisan pipe from Germany. And before I left, Sven thought that it was very fitting that I bring it back to Pennsylvania, and he gave it to me as a gift, which brought me to tears because I was just overwhelmed with it, and it was just so very kind of him, and I love it. It smokes fantastic. It is a beautiful, beautiful briar pipe plateau. I mean, it is just absolutely gorgeous. This video doesn't do it justice, I'm telling you. Even Christy saw it and was like, oh my God. So, you know, if it puts her in awe, it's a nice looking pipe. So, we are here on the second video to give you a review on United Airlines, because this was our first time flying United.
Yes.
Because she has flown Delta
and Southwest.
I have flown Delta and Southwest. Mm-hmm. I flew Delta for a business trip with the fire department, and Southwest we've flown together for all of our trips.
Yeah.
So this was a different experience because Southwest does not go international.
Correct. So one thing is you might get comfortable with the airline that you use, and you know your airline's rules, what can go in your carry-on, what counts as a carry-on, what counts as a personal item, how many pieces of luggage you can bring. So that was one thing that was a learning curve for us. Southwest allows you a carry-on, a personal item, and 2 50-pound suitcases each. United allows you, depending on your ticket, a personal item and a carry-on item, depending on what your ticket is. Some tickets don't allow for a carry-on item, but just a personal item, and only 1 50-pound suitcase each. So, that was a bit of a learning curve because we've always done 2 of the 50-pound suitcases in 1 smaller suitcase. Even though we had the allotment for 4, we've always done 2 big ones and 1 like medium one, plus my purse and a carry-on item. So that was a little bit different trying to organize that stuff. So definitely check the airline to see what they allow, what they don't allow. United does not count any medical assistive devices as part of your allowance. So if you have walker, wheelchair, CPAP machine, crutches, whatever you might have, they don't count it. It will get a ticket, but it doesn't count towards your allowance for what you're allowed to have. So if you do have a CPAP machine or anything like that, don't put it in your check-in bag. Take it with you as a personal item because it doesn't count. So why use the weight?
And why run the risk of it being broken? Because they're very expensive.
Right. So that was a bonus there. Always know what terminal you're going to be at, and then look at what food and beverages are in your terminal. At least here on the U.S. side, Zurich basically had a whole mall at their airport, so you could get anything and everything that you wanted. But here in the States, know what terminal that your plane is going to be going out of, and then look up what that airport has as far as drinks, meals, snacks, things like that. We always like to arrive super early to the airport because on the U.S. end, it takes a long time to get shown through customs. A long time. So...
Because basically, anytime I'm within 5 yards of a metal detector, you think that like a flock of robins are flying overhead. Yeah. Because, I mean, it is just redonkulous.
So I have to take my carry-on item, his, plus my purse, plus our electronic devices, which all have to be in different bins. I always wear flip-flops to the airport because with having to do his carry-on luggage, my carry-on, my purse, both of our electronic devices. I'm also in school, so I had to bring my laptop with me. That has to be in its own separate bin. It's a lot of work. So shoes are just not something that I want to fight with, so I just wear flip-flops. And on the U.S. side, they make me take the flip-flops off and put them in the bin. In Zurich, they did not. They were like,
how about the lady that was wearing those huge high heels?
Yeah.
It took her 5 minutes to get them off.
Dress appropriately. Like, you are going to an airport. An airport. You're not going to a beauty pageant. Like, don't wear 5-inch heels that you can't walk and keep up the pace with everybody else. The poor woman kept tripping. I thought she was going to break her ankle. It was a disaster.
She stumbled and I went, there she goes.
Then she couldn't get her shoes off to go through the customs because the U.S. side makes you take them off.
And the TSA guy was getting upset. He was getting
because
bent.
She was holding up the line. So, dress appropriately. Dress appropriately. Like, you're just holding up the line.
Especially
and you could hurt yourself. You could hurt yourself. There's a lot of stairs. There's a lot of ramps. You don't know what the ground is going to be. The tram, that's like a little two steps and then a ramp. So she tripped on that. Like, dress appropriately. Don't be wearing tons of layers that they're going to make you take them off because something set it off in one of the layers. Like, I literally wear, like, a t-shirt, a tank top, yoga pants, and a flip-flop. Like, flip-flops, yeah. I don't wear one. I wear two. And then I have my wedding band, and that's it. No earrings, no necklaces. I didn't bring my Apple Watch. Like, bare minimum.
I wear shorts, simple. And he still stuck his hand up my pant leg.
Right.
I mean, like, the dude could have at least bought me supper first.
So,
just saying.
Dress appropriately to make the process go smoother. We get there early because we know that his process is going to take a little bit longer. And then we always plan accordingly we take the tram or the bus, whatever the airport might have, monorail, and we went and got Starbucks.
All right, 7 pounds of hair and makeup.
So,
you hear that thump? That was her shoving my chunky ass under the bus.
So another thing, so we'll skip the jet lag until the first day video.
Okay.
Because I think that goes better with that information.
Okay.
United Airlines. Fabulous. They have people sitting there
8 out of 10.
Your terminal number 3 hours before you're even required to be there.
Answering questions or...
Yeah, any last minute things, tips, getting his wheelchairs, they don't tag until you're in the airport. I don't know why they can't do it while you're tagging all your luggage. So they have to tag that. And then they go over, special boarding, how boarding works.
Which, by the way, United does it. Here's how United does it. Mm-hmm. This is what I love. This was an instant win for me. Mm-hmm. First and foremost.
Okay, well, first of all, let me go here. You do have your boarding. Most airlines have 3 or 4 boarding. So you either have A, B, and C or A, B, C, and D lines. That is still true with United Airlines. However, they add 3 categories before those.
Yep. First, it is anybody with disabilities. Then it is veterans. And then it is active military.
And then it is A, B, C. Or D if they have a D.
Which I thought was awesome.
Right. So anybody who's ever traveled with somebody with disabilities, when the plane is full and you're trying to get somebody with a mobility issue to their seat, It's a disaster.
Well, it's every man for themselves when they start letting
Disaster. So it's really nice that they allowed us to go on first. There were only, sorry, Macy's having a change of positions. There were 5 people with disabilities getting on the plane. So that made it really nice to have just 5 of us trying to find our seats and get our baggage put in to where it needed to be versus everybody.
Right.
They are on the ball, United, with helping to get on the plane, telling you where your seat is. They have 4 people standing right up at the front, and you tell them your seat and your number, and they point you where to go, tell you about how far back it is, and then they have people at the back helping as well. They're on the ball with snacks and drinks, and like, I thought we were going to be able to take a nap because we did an evening flight, and it was supposed to be an 8-hour flight plus a 6-hour time difference, so it was like 5:50 in the evening our time, and we were getting there at 8 a.m. Zurich time.
It was crazy.
We really didn't sleep though. I think we each took like an hour nap because they were just, they wanted to keep you hydrated. That, plain and simple. They wanted to keep you hydrated. So they were going around with drink carts, 2 snack carts, dessert cart, dinner cart, breakfast cart. They had a lot of carts. The staff was great. We had 1 steward both ways, going there and coming back.
He was the German translator.
Yep.
So he flies from Zurich to Dulles and Munich to Dulles. He does a lot of the German flights because of the fact that when they do all the announcements, they do them in English, they'll do them in German.
Yes. No complaints about the men that were working.
They were fantastic.
United does have to work a little bit on their female staffing.
Drama queens.
Yes, they did not work well with each other on either flight. And we only had the 1 male steward that was the same. Everybody else was different crews.
Yeah.
And the females on both sets just did not work well with each other. They didn't have their carts prepped. They were arguing in the aisles whose responsibility it was to prep the cart. I gave you my last vegetarian meal. I gave you my last Coke. Like, every little thing was a tit for tat for them, whereas the guys were very relaxed, personable. They wanted to know where you were from, where you were going. If they had been to a place that you were going, they were showing us pictures.
Is it your first time?
Yeah, I mean, the guys were great. The women, yeah, they need to work on their communication and team building skills a little bit as far as their women's staff goes. They were great getting off the plane. Both places, Zurich and the U.S., they had somebody with his wheelchair brought up, and they had an attendant at both airports ready to help. So in both cases, they pushed you in the wheelchair. And then I pointed out which 2 suitcases were ours, and they got them down.
Then you pushed,
and then
I rolled them.
I rolled them, and they pushed him.
Yep. Got us through customs in a very timely manner.
Yeah. Got us through the custom checks, the security checks. Got us to Jean, because Jean picked us up at the airport when we landed.
Jean and his lovely bride, yep.
Yep. They got us to the hotel shuttle where we had the car parked when we came back. Stayed with us the whole time.
Yep.
They were with us from the moment we either checked in until we got on the plane, or vice versa when we got off the plane and onto the hotel shuttle.
And the airport was very emotional. When Jean and I first saw each other,
right,
and when we had to say our so longs, I couldn't believe how it was so difficult to say hello. I mean, I thought it'd be more of a joyful thing, and it was a very, very emotional hello. I mean, we talk every day.
Right.
We still talk every day, obviously, multiple times a day. But, that was insane.
Yeah. Yeah, so United.
I would definitely suggest United,
Yeah.
especially even if you're doing an inter
In the U.S.
in the U.S. Flight.
Yeah.
I would definitely still suggest them.
Yeah, they were great. Can't complain other than the women.
Yeah.
Of course, it's always the women, right?
So that's our review on United Airlines. I hope you enjoyed it. We will start with the Switzerland day 1 when we come back to another video. We'll post these throughout. They won't be in a row or anything like that. We're not going to overwhelm or blow anybody's feet up. We apologize for the length, but these are things that we feel we should share. We want to share, and it's just being able to relive our wonderful trip. So. So if you have not subscribed to Jean, the link will be in the root cellar, along with the link for Sven. Guys, thank you so much for dropping by, and until we can pack a pipe or smoke a great cigar, let all that you do be done in love. Y'all take care, and God bless. Wait.